New York Knicks. Cleveland down 3-0. They're in their gym, and a lot of times at this time it comes down to belief. Lisa Salters will be working the sidelines tonight. How would you gauge that belief on the Cleveland side, Lisa? We're just waiting, dramatic pause, for Lisa to appear at Rocket Arena and talk about the belief the Cleveland Cavaliers may have.
What's the belief?
I believe they're going to get their ass whooped tonight.
You believe that?
So
I believe that.
Hey, Lisa, are you hearing us? We can
Yes.
see you and hear you. And now, I don't know if you were hooked up when I was talking about belief and whether the Cavs had that going into Game 4.
Yes, Ernie. Well, the Cavaliers are all still saying the right things about how they still have belief in this team, belief in what they're capable of. Kenny Atkinson said before yesterday's film session, he asked guys to speak up and say why they still have belief, and he told them keep it real, no fluff, just facts, be honest. He said guys had great answers, like they believe because they had success against the Knicks before. They believe because their shots haven't been falling, and they believe that, you know, if that changes the series could change. And they also said they believe because they know they found a way to respond before when their backs have been against the wall in these playoffs. So he said guys all have their reasons why they believe, and yet they understand that they can't win the next 4 without winning this one tonight. But having said all that, Ernie, you can't help but wonder if maybe, just maybe, the emotional toll of what happened in Game 1 was just too much for the Cavs to overcome. And I say that because it just keeps coming up. Donovan Mitchell referenced Game 1 multiple times in his post-game comments after Game 3. He was asked what he's learned in this series, and the first thing he said was, don't lose Game 1 after being up 22. If I learned one thing, it would be that. That was the very first thing he said, and he went on to say, but it happened, and now we have to find a way to get back from 0-3, something that we know has never been done before in the history of the NBA playoffs. So while the Cavaliers aren't looking for excuses, and rightfully so, they've been saying that they'd moved past Game 1 right after it happened, but maybe the damage had already been done. Again, though, Ernie, the Cavs say they still believe. Donovan Mitchell also said we have another opportunity tonight to get Game 4, and then we can go on from there. But just listening to you guys and listening to Shaq and Kenny, I don't know. Do you guys believe that?
That was going to be my next question, as a matter of fact. Thank you very much for the report. It was worth the wait. Thank you, Lisa. It's a hard thing to define. And you know, I guess maybe if you're a player, you can say you believe, but do deep down inside.
Man, the Cavs going home tonight. They don't believe
But I'm
it.
talking about the guys wearing those uniforms. Deep down inside.
Deep down, they know they're going to get their ass whooped tonight. Deep down. Ernie.
Easy, huh?
Easy.
Wow.
Well, first of all, they got to come out and play with some energy. They can't quit from the beginning. But they know, and she said it, they haven't gotten over Game 1. Why are you talking about Game 1 basically almost a week later? This team, I've seen desperation. We've had this conversation on some of these other series. Kenny know what desperation is. Shaq know what desperation is. When you come up and give up 40 points in a must-win game, the first quarter at home, you unpacked it in. Because 40 points, Ernie, at home?
37.
Okay.
Thank you, Kenny.
Round it off, fool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
You round up.
I didn't say you didn't. I just said it was 37.
You can't give up 37 points.
You know what was funny about that, and I'll get to you 1 second, Shaq. And here's the thing. You mentioned desperation, but when Karl Anthony Towns was doing the end of quarter interview with Lisa Salters in Game 1, he said, we need to play more desperate. Even though they were up 37-27 at the time, they were the team talking about desperation.
And that's why they're up 3-0. You talk about the word belief. I'm an expert at being at this point in the series, being down 0-3. Belief. All 15 guys have to believe that they can win. And I guarantee you all 15 guys on that team do not believe. You're going to have 1 or 2 guys saying, hey, I'm going to go get mine tonight so people can't say it's my fault. Mm-hmm. But the other 13, they don't really believe, and it shows that. So, like Chuck said, they don't play with desperation. If they don't play like they want to win. They may come out with, with the fake I believe in 3 quarters.
That's exactly right.
But, that fourth quarter is going to be, the real true test. And, I'm concerned with the Knicks because, Kenny and I and Chuck have been at this moment. I don't want to think ahead. Because if I win this game tonight, it's going to be sometimes you can get like super, super excited and then you can mess up and then you can give the other team a chance to win. So the Knicks have to be careful and the Cavs have to come out and play with some type of desperation.
Yeah.
But I'm with Chuck. It's over.
Listening to, there used to be a commercial that used to end with, "A mind is a terrible thing to waste."
Yes.
And so, when I also
United Negro College Fund.
Negro College Fund.
And your dad used to say it to you all the time.
And
your brother
he said you sit next to people a lot of times that happens to. But honestly, we used to talk about that, saying is like, because when you have so many people telling you can or can't do something, then it becomes what you think you are. And the whole city of Cleveland, everyone around the media, you're hearing constantly that you can't do something. Now, that is the part that internally either triggers you or makes you succumb. And we'll see if it makes them succumb, because that is the moment when everyone's against you and you see who you really, really are. But I say if this game gets down to over 10 points at any point, that's when the Knicks will just go cruise. But if it stays in that 10 or less, 9 or less, I think they have that chance to win one.
And for New York, okay, you win this series. Number one, it would be a sweep twice in the same postseason, which they've never done. But if you get to the finals, the first since 1999, you think back to what their owner James Dolan said earlier this year, and that came into play ahead of Game 4.
Dolan said in January, finals, it's must. I'm just curious, if you could take me back then, like what did you think then? Like what did you guys think about what he said then, what that felt like, that kind of mandate?
But because of the finals, we're going to get traded. I think that's the goal that we all kind of have. Obviously, it's a little bit different when the big dog says it, but that's the goal that each and every one of us have, and we're our own biggest critics.
What's it going to take to beat this team?
Let's start with making some shots. Let's start with getting some stops and making some free throws. I hate to harp on it, but we were up 22, dog. You know what I mean? So it's on us.
Analytically, we're 2 out of 3 in the expected. I don't know if you guys follow that. There's an expected score, and we won 2 out of the 3. The expected score was like 1 point or 2. Us shooting way below expected, them shooting way over. And I know no one wants to hear that. I think you guys like hearing it. I know, general public, no one wants to hear that. Everyone's outcome based, and sure, I get that too.
You damn skip it, we don't want to hear it. And not the general public. Ernie, Shaq, and Chuck and Kenny don't want to hear it either.
Things like shot quality and effective field goal percentage and predicted points and that kind of thing.
I have told you guys about that analytical BS.
Yeah.
If you want to get your son-in-law a job, get him a real job. Don't just get him counting numbers in the office about. Man, I hate when because I like Kenny Atkinson, but that's just.
And he's been a coach of the year, as a matter of fact.
He's a good coach.
So the analytics.
But he hasn't had a good series. Now let's get that out the way. He hasn't had a good series.
When you hear analytics like that, or analytics described that way, you know what comes to mind for me?
What's that?
Well, Professor O'Neill, once upon a time, pretty analytical look at gas prices and. You know what's coming.
It's not coming now. Hey. It's not coming now.
Roll it.
I really want to know because I want to get this call, but I really want to save gas money.
You're complaining about when it gets to 0, you spend 80, right? When it gets to half, you put 20. Then when it get back to half, you put 20.
Yeah, but I keep stopping, putting 20 in, and it'll be 80, the same amount of gas. I'm driving the same amount of gas.
The average human stops once a week for gas, right? With you only work here twice. You would probably have to stop maybe once every 2 weeks.
But 4 times 20 is 80 because I'm going to stop 4 times.
No, you're not going to stop 4 times. Not in 1 week, you're not.
Right, but if Wednesday it's going to be 40, and then on Fridays it'll be 40
Not 40,
again.
20. Yeah. It's going to be 20.
No.
It's going to be 20.
Not half. Half of 80 is 40.
But no, listen to what I'm saying.
I am.
Okay.
So if I just
no, you ain't gonna have to put gas in every day. Don't play me right now.
I'm not playing.
Don't play with me right now.
one of the all-time greats.
I stand by my method. It's
And
called-
even more appropriate now,
can't
considering
stand by
what's
it.
going on.
Stand by my
Can't stand by
That's
it.
your second. That's your number one. Your
it's
second
not.
one is closer to the moon or L.A.
I asked a question.
You asked the question. Is it closer
That's
to L.A.
all.
or to the moon?
I asked a question.
Yeah,
That's
you
all.
said you can see the moon, but you can't see L.A.
So I asked a question.
Well, damn it, that wasn't a good question.
By the way, Modelo, fight for victory. Here's some other, just so in case you're wondering how the Knicks are
what I
doing in
believe.
this series, and in the postseason, as a matter of fact. In these playoffs, best record, best point differential, net rating.
They've been the best team in the playoffs
Yeah,
so far,
exactly.
period.
And that's only part of it. Field goal
you say, Joe?
percentage, assist
They have been the
ratio,
best team in the playoffs.
All of these
rebound
categories.
differential. Yes.
Shaq, you got to give them their flowers, man. They have been the best team in the playoffs.
The best team in the East or the best for sure?
In the East.
He feels that the West, and I might
Well,
go.
the West is gonna be favored.
I would
Okay,
say
but
this.
you said whole playoffs.
Hey, but in the
You
whole
said
playoffs,
no, that's not
the whole playoffs, the Knicks
no,
are
in the
playing.
East. No,